I wanted to speak on something real quick. This wasn't the intended live I was going to do. I was going to actually share a story about and how they came to be people that were in my life, but I guess I could still kind of touch on that. Um, because the funeral was happening, my first daughter's father passed away. There's a funeral that's going to be happening next week. And my daughters and I knew this was going to happen, but it just seemed like it happened so fast because they didn't stay small for long. By the time you blink, they're grown ups and they're asking questions like, how the heck? So anyway, the conversation ended up happening that was kind of talking about how different my children's fathers are. Like there is no consistency in relation to their relationships, how they present, that kind of thing. The only thing consistent with them and my daughters that they watch this together now is that they were cruel, that they were aggressive, that they forced their way into my life, that they pretended to be kind, and the whole time they were being calculated. They wanted something from me. It wasn't a sincere relationship. It was basically they wanted something from me. They assumed a lot about me based on what I look like. And then when they got to know me, this is what I believe. When they got to know me, they realized I'm not what I present to be, but they could not possibly have a long-term relationship with me because they were pretending all along, and eventually the mask would have to fall. And so they wanted to tarnish my reputation so that no one else would get to know me. And that's exactly what happened with all of them. They're so, and really, that if anyone knows the whole scenario, they'll know that makes sense. Now, the reason why I titled this live the way that I did is this. My mother is a witch. Like I'm not saying witch to be derogatory. I'm saying she's a witch. She actually is a practicing witch. She does witchcraft on me daily. She wakes up every morning doing it. She goes to bed preparing for the next day to do the same thing. She's not the only one in my life that's done this. The children's fathers have cursed some of, if not all, my daughters to do the same thing. And the thing is, though, I was raised by my parents, just provided for my basic needs, but I was raised by God. The Lord, He brought me through some very hard situations. He protected me in times that what people would have thought that I would took my life. I mean, some disrespectful, ridiculously disrespectful things I endured at the hands of people that are supposed to be my family. So my ideas about family are not the same. My daughter just left this house. She's doing a performance. Um, Something when they were younger. Even if you weren't interested, I would always encourage them to go out and support each other. Now, none of her sisters went to support her, which is fine. I went, and I have no one to encourage to go support her either because I have no friends, as far as I'm concerned. So I would never. There's no one I would really ask. There's one person I did ask, but that's another story. But the point is that when you're into witchcraft, if you're a Christian or you're into witchcraft, you have to know that your words have power. So when you speak a thing, you can speak a thing into existence. You can curse a person, you can build a person, you can bless a person with your words. You can bless or curse yourself with your words. The way you think, you can manifest things. So through my healing, I've learned to be very careful of how I speak. I'm still someone's identified from me well, but I'm still working on how I speak about myself. But I did notice how people who are into witchcraft, witches and warlocks, how they navigate into your life and try to get you to speak a thing over yourself without even realizing it. So whenever I'm leaving the home, even though we don't talk, we're cordial. I'm being respectful. In spite of the fact they love for me to engage in conflict, I choose not to. They'll say she'll ask a question that requires me to come in agreement with something that she wants me to agree with. So, like, for example, she'll say, "Are you finished?" Now, in the spiritual realm doesn't know what you mean by finished. When you want to ask someone a question, you have to be specific because in the spiritual realm, finished could mean are you dead? It could mean are you finished a project? It could mean is that project is that are you finished a statement? There's different meanings behind the words that people say, but now if you don't understand witchcraft, which the church is not teaching, if you don't understand warfare, you could come in agreement with something that could actually change your whole situation. You can leave the house, get into a vehicle, and something could happen to you. God forbid, I plead the blood of Yeshua, Jesus, over my daughter right now. Anyway, this is the cruelty of the actions of the people that are in my life right now. Um, and I know my daughters. My IG link doesn't work. What does that mean? My IG link doesn't work. Because right now, what I'm seeing is working, and your statement came through. So what is my IG link? Oh, the one in my description. Lots of things. The enemy's been able to get into my stuff and do a whole bunch of things. There's a whole bunch of people that I grew up with. I didn't necessarily go to school with them because I went to school in a city just across the way. So it took me long to get there. But Instagram, okay, I'll fix that. Thank you so much for that. It was probably played with. Um, a lot of them went into technology, IT. So a lot of these people were intelligent, but they were very immature when they made these choices. They made these choices based on their intelligence, the ability to do it, the money that they would make. But when they got into the field, they realized that they could actually tap into people's lives that they know and mess up their life. You know, with the link that's not working, that's one of the things that they can do. Um, so I'm looking at the situation with my mom. When my daughter was leaving and she asked her, "Are you finished?" And I interjected quickly because I knew she was going to be driving and said, "She's not finished. She has a lot left to do." My mom said nothing. Because I knew what she was trying to do. And here she is coughing because the spirit that's in her realizes that I've caught her. Anyway, um, I real that the smile and people smiling in my face means nothing. A smile means nothing to me. And my daughters don't understand much about the spiritual realm relations to Christianity. So when I say stuff like that, they think I'm being mean. But my days of being naive and being docile to benefit the people that are around me so that witches and warlocks can get what they have to get done are over. If it seems that what I'm saying is unkind, that's just too bad. I'm going to call a spade a spade. If you're smiling on my face and I know your actions contradict what is kind, what is generous, what is honest, what is noble, I'm going to call a spade a spade. It is what it is. I don't have time for nonsense. I'm not here to entertain or pamper or baby anyone. My poor kids are grown. I don't have a baby. So if you guys are looking for someone to baby you, there's lots of women out there that will do that. I will not, especially if you're a male. If what you're doing is different than what you're saying, I'm going to call it what it is. Okay? That's a form of witchcraft. You're manipulating people. The Bible talks about certain things that we do that sways people from understanding or seeing what's before us. That's witchcraft. And the Lord says it's an abomination. So when you slander, when you gossip, when you lie, when you cheat, that's all an abomination to the Lord. And the Lord says in his word that suffer not a witch to live. But he also says that vengeance is his. So I'm gonna sit here and act like I don't have no sense because that's what you guys think, and let you guys dig yourself into deeper holes because I don't have time to play. I know my mother claims she was never for me, which is fine. But every time she smiles and says that thing, I'm going to consistently call it out. And I don't care if it's her or if it's a stranger. I'm going to call it what it is. I have an aunt that when I went to Jamaica when I was 8, took me under her wing. This is before I knew my family was deep into witchcraft. And when I came back, I don't even know what transpired in the ethers, what happened that she discovered about me or what I might be owed or whatever that turned her against me. But I've never seen such wickedness. And she and I looked a lot alike when I went to Jamaica when I was young. But now when she came back, I just could see that there was something different about the two of us, like the wickedness in her. You could see that the spirits that govern us, so whether it be the Holy Spirit, which is a spirit of kindness, a spirit of love, patience, that spirit brings beauty out in people. But when you're governed by a spirit of jealousy, spirit of hatred, vengeance, a spirit of witchcraft overall, you can see it. You can see it on people. You can see the wickedness. You can see the hollowness in their eyes. And I saw this in her. And even though she smiled in my face, I knew she was not for me. And the thing is, the hardest thing is to be kind to people who you know are out to get you. They're not just get you to take your life. It's so difficult. And at the same time, trusting that God has a purpose for your life and will protect you. I have lots of people who befriended my daughters at first thinking that they could take them out. And then they realized it well that it would hurt me. It hurt me a bit, but then I realized I don't own my children. I was called to bring them into this world, and what they decide to do with their destiny and their purpose is their choice. I all I can do is pray. I can't twist their arms to do what's right, but I can just pray. And as far as I'm concerned, praying is much more um, effective than anything I can do because everything I try and do it seems like I'm being pretentious. People have these assumptions when I make a decision or I do something kind that I have ulterior motives, and I'm so done with doing things for people that have think that I have ulterior motives because most of the people in this world have ulterior motives. Women do things for men because they want money. They will suck a thing, bite a thing, twirl, do backflips because they're looking for something. Men will do the same thing. They'll give women money. They'll house them. They'll do all kinds of things for them because of what they want. That being said, though, I know for sure now I don't fit into any of those categories, and therefore my choice to be alone is the wisest thing you can ever do because I cannot fathom and understand how people do that kind of stupidness. I could not be. What the body is the most. Our body and intertwining with someone else is the most intimate thing you do with somebody. It's the most intimate thing you can do with someone. Something the most intimate you can do with someone is to be a doctor doing surgery, and this is why I'm very particular about who I go to for advice in relation to my physical body. But we as people, and I work for the school board, so I know this, they don't teach people or children about soul ties and about being careful about who you interact with, whatever. Mostly one, because most of the teachers I know that work for the school board, a lot of them that I work with were witches anyway. And two, because they have no idea, because witches are, they can just conduct themselves based on developing soul ties initially. And that's why their work is effective. I know better. And so me being in my little cocoon here is not based on me being fearful or me being angry. It's about me being informed and being wise. Okay. There is a gentleman who consistently, whenever I go somewhere, I feel like he's been sent, like he's astral traveling. And every time I go out to go get fruit or whatever, this dude shows up. Professing his love to me. This dude does not know me from Adam. He has never known me. He doesn't know. I keep saying to him, I might be this crazy lunatic. And it doesn't seem to phase him. And most of the conversation and dialogue with these young people, these men that I'm meeting, are so superficial and mean nothing. And I'm so done. If it wasn't for the fact that I actually need to actually go get stuff, I wouldn't even interact with people. It's a turn. I feel so turned off by the stuff that I'm seeing. People are so super. They don't have any depth to them. They're so superficial. All they care about is what they look like, what people perceive them to be, as opposed to being their true authentic self. Because there's only room in this world for the only one you. There's no room for two of you or three of you. Okay, the world needs you to be you. If you're trying to be somebody else, if you're trying to be a Kardashian, if you're trying to be Usher, if you're trying to be someone else, who the heck is going to be you? You have a role to play as well. Just because a particular person has a gift and has healed themselves enough to flourish in their gift or to embrace who they are doesn't mean that you have a right to stop that or to try and take that. I think I'm so I couldn't be more. I don't want to say disgusted because I have my issues too. We all do. I'm not. But all I know I can say is that I love me, and I want to be me, and I want to explore more about who I am as opposed to who you are. I don't want to be you. And that's the thing that's interesting about me is I've never in my life wanted to be somebody else. Even stars like superstars, I never wanted to be them. I used to always applaud them. I used to love their talent because I was the type of person that used to like theater, dancing, even in sports. I used to adore people who embraced their gifts and were able to excel in those gifts. I never envied them. I always tried to just excel in whatever it was I was good at. But you know what? I realized today, especially going forward, I'm going to acknowledge that most people don't do this. Most people are so envious of other people, especially since most people are pretentious. They act like they're better than everybody else. They act like they have it going on better than everybody else. And when it comes down to it, someone who has to always profess how good they are, or how smart they are, or how talented they are, really don't have that much to go going on. Because most people who are talented and gifted are too busy polishing and for finding their own gifts. They don't have time to be braggadocious about what they do and what they have to offer. And someone who has money is not going to be bragging about how much money they have Because who wants that? Who wants someone in their space just because they have money? Not me. I'm humbly saying that I'm meeting people a lot more than I did before. And those of you, including family, who are looking to smile up in my face and thinking I'm going to believe that what you're bringing to the table is sincere, you're mistaken. So just be wise about you coming to me thinking that because I'm coming back to you that I actually am stupid and not realizing what you're doing is just your surface level and it's not sincere. So I know that you're just not sincere. Most of the people in my life don't care about me, which is fine. I get more support and more accolades from strangers in the short time that I encounter them in my goings and comings throughout the days I'm out there. Those are people that haven't gotten to know me yet, and there's a few, or people who I knew in my past that haven't had a chance to come encounter with people who are so superficial and jealous that they got involved in whatever happened to me without really getting to know me, which is so sad and pathetic. Because once you burn a bridge with me, it's burnt. Because of that, to me, that's it's just what it is. Would have to really reveal to me that, it's worth a bridge that's worth saving or salvaging. Because most people that I've met are superficial. There's nothing much. They choose to guard what is really valid. It's almost like a papaya. What I discovered about a papaya is a papaya seed is wonderful for killing parasites. So if you're taking stuff for killing parasites, the parasite, the papaya kills the eggs, which is part of what you need. So I've been actually saving my papaya seeds. The point is that most people cut off this in their personality. They let people cut off the skin and enjoy the meat, but they guard the seed because they don't. The seed is the part that tells you the most significant part of the person's personality. But because they've been so hurt, they're so guarded, no one will ever get to the seed. And that's not only is it society's loss that we'll never see that person's true character, but it's also the loss of the person who could have actually had people appreciate their true character. Anyway, that's enough of my ranting for today. I found that if I come on too late, I'm too tired to even do a live, so this is a good time for me. Anyway, I pray you're all doing well. I got something in my eye. My daughter left our or her dog here, and I'm gonna take him for a walk because it's beautiful outside, and I think I need to take some fresh air. There's too much demon activity in this house. For those of you who believe in witchcraft, if you don't, I don't want to hear about it because if you are living, you don't have to be a Christian or not to believe that there's warfare. You just a sitting duck if you don't believe that people can astral travel into your life and attack you at night. Those things, the church is not teaching it, and they're going to be reprimanded for it. That's straight what it is because they know. Anyway, guys, I pray that you're doing well. I will fix the link to my Instagram. I mean, I have to keep fixing stuff. It's fine. It's probably part of my walk to be vigilant about my stuff. But I appreciate you letting me know. Okay, guys, until tomorrow, have a great night and be blessed. If you're in Toronto, it's sunny here. Please enjoy your night. Okay, guys? Remember, you're made marvelous. You're a special generation of people, specially created for this time. You're not a mistake. The Lord loves you. Until tomorrow, be blessed.